I wanted. Okay, let's move on to your faith. Would you call yourself a Christian?
I would, actually.
Okay, cool. How hard is it nowadays in society, being a black man in a conscious society where you feel, well, I feel as well, that you claim to be this in this organization called Christianity, and there's a lot of white people and other people of different races in your group, but you feel like you might be alone when it comes to issues like social issues and justice issues.
Right.
How does it feel also to have other people of your same race maybe not believe in God, or they follow a different thing, and they might look at you differently for believing in a white God or the white man's God and stuff like that? What are your thoughts on that?
First off, it's very silly to me to have individuals of African descent want to defame Christianity, defame placing your faith in Jesus, when if you do research on individuals who actually wrote certain books of the Bible, most of the people who wrote certain books of the Bible are of African descent. Luke, one of the greatest physicians ever, and the author of the book of Luke is from the continent of Africa.
I'm glad you said. Not that people know that Luke is a physician. You're smart. You've done your research.
I try.
I just recently found that out within the last 2 years.
Yeah.
That's why I was interested. I'm glad you said that. Not people know that.
Paul wrote 2/3 of the New Testament, and in one of the chapters, in one of the books that Paul wrote, it was said that Paul was confused. Like, someone looked at Paul and they confused Paul to be an Egyptian. I don't know about you, but
I was about to say, do you want to remind people where Egypt, Palestine, Bethlehem, Nineveh? You want to remind everybody on the map globally where that is?
right around the North African, Middle Eastern area.
Yes.
Which, if people did research on that as well, they would also know that the Middle East only became the Middle East in the early AD period, and that before, the Middle East was actually a part of Africa.
Right.
So, and I don't. Here's the thing. I don't know if it's a metaphorical description of Jesus or a literal description of Jesus. I happen to think the latter, but hair like lamb's wool and feet like brass.
In the Bible.
I don't particularly think that's the picture of Jerry.
Yeah.
That's floating all around churches.
Yeah.
Churches in America.
Well, let me ask you a serious question to that, because I wanted to transition into white Jesus or black Jesus.
Right.
Okay, so I personally, a while ago, and it's actually stemmed from a conversation me, you, and Robert Mitchell had.
Right.
I
shout out to Robert, by the way.
Yeah, very smart dude, one of my good
awesome
friends.
Guy. Yeah.
I never looked at it from when he brought up. He's like, "What? Why do we allow this white Jesus on the wall? Why do we allow this image of Jesus on the wall?
Right.
Because we know that this is not him. Nobody had cameras back then. Nobody knows what he looked like. So why is it always brought back to him? You even hit the Google search. You just write Jesus, and then that's the picture that comes up.
That always comes up.
And it's crazy. What he was saying made a lot of sense. Because if you want to take the race issue out of it, being wherever he's from, what his race actually was, we can argue that all day, that it was either Middle Eastern or black. The point that he was making, though, is that's kind of blasphemous what we do when we put an image of God or image of Jesus on a wall. Now, and we can argue again the race thing about it, but why are you putting a false image of Jesus Christ on the wall, whether it is black or white?
Well, first and foremost, it's even stated in the Bible to not
Mm-hmm.
worship the image.
Absolutely.
Or worship the Savior.
Absolutely.
Second thing, looking at it from a natural perspective, you can go, and this is well documented as well. You can go to every other continent in the world, and whatever the people look like, that's what Jesus looks like.
Right.
The only area that's not the case is the whole continent of Africa and the United States of America. And the reason being is because the next thing that I'm going to get to when it comes to this westernized version of Christianity, we've allowed the image to mean more than the actual contributions of the person,
Of course.
and the actual spirit that's supposed to dwell within. Quite frankly, I don't worship the image anyway.
Of course. Nobody should.
But the thing is that if I put you in an area where the people who look like you have done damaging and demeaning things to you, or at least you feel that way, but the person who doesn't look like you is viewed as this person who came and took us out of this awful predicament that we were in, and we were great, now we're living great, now we're living wonderful. Who are you going to eventually put more of your faith in?
Well, the one that made your life better.
So if I keep feeding you this situation of the condition that you're in, even though certain situations of this condition are very inhumane in how you're being treated, but the person that is supposed to pull you out of that situation and help you overcome that situation doesn't look like you, eventually what you're going to think is that everybody that's going to pull me out of a negative situation is going to be someone who doesn't look like me. And that's the psychological effect of why Jesus, the Christ, whatever image that you present to your children or present to believers, the psychological effect of it, that's why the psychological effect of it is you should present an image that is more of who you are.
Okay.
Because that way you don't feel as though we don't get into this effect of you and I are second class citizens. And because we're in this project, we now have to fight for survival. We now have to fight for survival in the project. No. You're a king. And you deserve to be treated as such. Women, you are queens, and you deserve to be treated. You deserve to be treated as such. But more than anything, the one who created you and the one whose spirit resides within you wants you to recognize just how much of a king and queen that you are, and just how much of a God that you are, because it's stated in His Word, we are made in His image. And I love what Erykah Badu said, and on. If we are made in His image, call us by our name. Call me the N-word. Call me by my name. If I'm a child of God, And I was created to have dominion and rule over the earth. Because that's what men and women. We were created to have dominion and rule over the earth.
Okay.
And the only person and the only entity that we were supposed to answer to is God.
So you would say that, and I agree with everything you said because I've actually had lessons on this. We are God's made in His image, so we're actually a reflection of a higher power, lowercase g's. That's what we are. Okay, I got what you're saying.
Exactly.
So